first base, Jason Newman. At page 6, number 16, center fielder, Keaton Greenwald. Batting seventh, number 22 at third base, Cameron Thompson. Batting eighth, number 2.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Flathead Field in the beautiful Flathead Valley. My name is Scott Gladstone. So excited to bring you another edition of Pioneer League Baseball. Today's matchup is between the Glacier Range Riders and the visiting Missoula Paddleheads. It is an exciting contest between the Paddleheads and the Range Riders. Paddleheads come in with a record of 4 wins and 3 losses. The Glacier Range Riders on the other side come in with a record of 2 wins and 5 losses. They have the man who kind of falls into that ace role now, the lone ace, as the departure of Logan Van Wy has kind of left that spot open. Noah Barros has been spectacular in different outings. He won a PBL Pitcher of the Week award, but he also has struggled, and one of his struggles came against this Missoula Paddlehead squad. They were able to put up 15 runs on him, as well as the relief pitcher Isaiah Henry that came in for him, in just 1 inning of play after he had a solid start a couple weeks ago on a Sunday afternoon. But it will be a good setup today for him as the Paddleheads come out. They are rearing to go here at Flathead Field after stumbling last night and coming up short against these Range Riders. Noah Barros sets on the mound, prepares to pitch the first pitch of the game, and it is a high fly ball, foul to the leadoff batter today. Leadoff batter today is Brandon Riley. And now he's behind 0-2. Like I said, Noah Barros starting on the mound. Riley will lead off, as we're seeing. O'Connor bats second. Sparks third. Newman is the first baseman. He bats fourth. Gatewood fifth. Greenwald sixth. The bottom 3 are Thompson, Willman, and Akins. A ball there on a waste pitch. Count goes to 1-2. No outs. Just underway here in the top of the first inning, as Noah Barros, the Arizona native, prepares to throw the 1-2. This one swung on. It's a slow roller to second base, but Ryan Cash will field and throw. Makes it look easy for out number 1. I mean, that one was fairly easy for Cash. We've seen him do much more difficult plays. That is for sure. Clayton O'Connor now bats second. He is the second baseman. Stands in at 5'10", 165 pounds. His first pitch from Barros misses the catcher entirely. Count goes to 1-0. There's a called strike. Count goes to 0-1. For the first time ever, Noah Barros is throwing his pitches to Drew Sims. New catcher, just arrived yesterday. We'll talk a little bit more about his journey to getting here. Literally his journey yesterday when he gets up to bat for the first time. But as this one is swung on, it's a high fly ball. Ryan Cash looks to be the man in position to make the play yet again, and he is. Grabs the pop out for out number 2. It's been all Cash so far. It's been a fairly revolving door of catchers for the Glacier Range Riders. That's something they've tried to figure out. Justin Mazzone has been solid since his arrival, but trying to figure out who that number 2 catcher is, / 1A, 1B, however you're going to do it, has been wrought with its trials and tribulations. Lamar Sparks comes in, and we see a cold strike to start off his at-bat. 0-1 is the count as Noah Barros tries to work a 1-2-3 first inning. Barros sets and fires. Breaking ball is swung on to right field. Sam Lintz got over. And on the run, he makes the catch for out number 3. It is a 9-pitch first inning for Noah Barros. He gets 1-2-3. And now we see the Range Riders up to bat in just a few moments. Welcome back. We are in the bottom of the first inning. And it is Sebastian Selway wearing the number 3 jersey. It is the starting pitcher for the Missoula Paddleheads tonight. He makes his first ever appearance against these Glacier Range Riders. There's a called strike. Count goes to 0-1 to start it off as pitch number 1 into Ben McConnell. Makes it 0-1. Now it's 0-2 as that one is foul back. Sebastian Selway out of the Frontier League most recently. Attended his college ball at LSU Shreveport, a really solid NAIA school. Of course, in Shreveport, Louisiana. The 0-2 coming in. Misses up high. Little background on Sebastian Selway. He initially attended San Francisco State for 2 years before finishing up his career at LSU Shreveport, and starting off the day with a single is Ben McConnell. He loops that one into shallow right field as McConnell's had kind of up and down throughout. His defense in center field, of course, has been huge throughout the season for the Range Riders, and of course his base running ever so dangerous. Ryan Cash now steps in. Prepares to see pitch number 1. And he will swing on it and foul it right atop the dugout of the Glacier Range Riders. The netting right over it, and then hit on the lip that's exposed right under the netting. 0-1 is the count now. All strikes except for the waste pitch from Selway. Mentioned he started at San Francisco State, then LSU Shreveport, and then he made his way, onto the Indy Ball circuit. Runner going. It's a throw that is safe. Safe again. Almost dripped his foot off the bag, but you could tell it wasn't going to be long before Ben McConnell started running, and a successful steal puts him in a scoring position with no outs. I thought that it was a called ball, but I guess I was wrong. It was a called strike. According to our scoreboard, count goes to 0-2. This one swung on into left center field. It's going to hit on a hop. Ben McConnell had to hold up to make sure that it wasn't caught, so he's only able to advance 90 feet, but a single by Ryan Cash puts runners on the corners for the dangerous Sam Linscott. Glacier Range Riders falling behind in both of the first 2 counts, but able to do work, get 2 hits against Sebastian Stanway. This is his second start, and his first start went south very quickly. Just an inning and a third pitched for him, and 8 runs against, 7 of those earned, including a home run. Only was able to get 1 strikeout. This one will miss up high. If you have your ERA math down pat, that means his ERA, 7 earned runs over 1 in the third inning. That's 47.25 in the ERA. 1-0 pitch coming. Called strike in the zone. Count goes to 1-1. Foul ball. Count goes to 1-2. Also, fans, we are starting a new unique partnership for the Range Riders. Every home run hit here at Flathead Field by your Glacier Range Riders, Hidden Homes Montana and Keller Williams Realty will be making a donation to a local charity for this homestand. Hidden Homes Montana has chosen Glacier National Park Conservancy as the charity of their choice. So every home run hit by the Range Riders will remind you of that every time it happens. It's a great new partnership that gets money into local charities, and Glacier National Park Conservancy is a great foundation that does a lot of work around the teaching, the foundation, the conservation of Glacier National Park. It's really something great. We invite you to check both these companies that we just named out if you ever get a chance. Runners on the corners, 1-2 count coming to Sam Linscott. No outs. Swings on it. It's getting down in right field. An RBI single from Sam Linscott. 3 straight hits and a 1-0 lead for the Glacier Range Riders. Cash moves up to second. Linscott's on first, and for Sebastian Stanway, things going south already for him. And it's easy to say, in theory, be a goldfish, like Ted Lasso says, and forget about your last start, have a short memory. But to go 1 1/3 and really never get into that groove that you get used to as a pitcher, and Sebastian Stanway has had as a pitcher, he has really phenomenal stats. It is tough to see 3 straight hits and not let your mind creep back to that brief 4-out outing for him. His senior season at LSU Shreveport, a 7-3 record, a 3.33 ERA, 12 starts, 16 total appearances, and he had 96 strikeouts to 31 walks. 1-0 pitch coming in, no outs, runners on first and second. Brody Wofford at the plate. And that one's down Main Street, a called strike. Playing, of course, in California and Louisiana. Sebastian Stanway's originally out of California. San Jose, to be exact. Family watching back home in the Bay Area, I'm sure. This one swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2. Stanway trying to get something under his belt here. And I mentioned it last night with Tanner Solomon. Size often so valued in pitching, and Sebastian Stanway, like Tanner Solomon, an undersized pitcher, under 6 foot at 5'11", 175 pounds. The 24-year-old sets to fire the 1-2. In the dirt, good block. Count goes to 2-2. Now, it's Nick Gatewood that is behind the plate. He's listed as a flex catcher / first baseman. Sometimes he DHs, but he's always in the starting lineup. They find a way to get him in there one way or the other. He switches off with, of course, Jason Newman over at first. A fair amount. This one will miss high. Count goes full at 3-2. Stanway doesn't want to walk Wofford, but at the same time, you can't throw a meatball over the plate because Wofford is second on the team in home runs, tied with Livingston Morris. Full count pitch coming. Selway, gets the call, sets and fires, and it'll miss. A full count walk, and it's time for Michael Schlack to come out and have a conversation with his pitcher. It has been 4 batters across, 4 batters have reached base, 3 singles, and now a full count walk. Upcoming now is the third baseman, Dean Miller. I'll read the lineup for you. I don't think I said that for the Range Riders, as McConnell got off to a hot start. And, it feels like we might even see everybody in this first inning. So if we don't, I'll just go through it. Dean Miller batting 5th after Wofford. Morris batting 6th. The bottom 3 are Drew Sims, last night's hero. Robbie Scott, last night's fellow debutant. And Brant Broussard rounds out the starting 9. That front 5, if you didn't catch them, is McConnell, Cash, Linscott, and Wofford, plus, of course, Miller, who's smack dab in the middle. Him and Brody Wofford, they call it a team cleanup spot at the 4-5. Wofford and Miller. The entire infield came in to conversate with Selway there. And we got a first body moving up to the bullpen. It's Mark Timmons. Dean Miller, a guy that can make you pay if you give him one to hit. The ball can cook off the bat. We saw that last night when he whacked one over the right center field wall. First pitch, and Dean Miller not wasting any time. A swing away and a foul ball over in right field foul territory. I don't think Timmons was getting up to warm up. He was a lone participant jogging to the bullpen. Must have just left something in his bag up there. Or he has something in his hand, maybe. I don't know if it's a baseball or some other sort of warm-up weight. Timmons is a starter. So we'll see. This one is a called strike, and that's a big pitch to get ahead 0-2 versus Miller. A strikeout would be huge for Selway here, especially after talking with his coach, trying to just eat up some innings. It is 1-0 already here in the bottom of the first inning. The Range Riders lead. The 0-2 pitch coming into Dean Miller. Swings on it, and it's a pop fly. Running over is Newman. Makes up a lot of ground. And Ryan Cash tried to dare Newman to throw home. We saw an error throwing from Newman last night. He holds on to the ball, just stares down Cash. And the pop fly foul out is good for out number one. Good response from Sebastian Selway after talking with his coach. And up comes Livingston Morris. First pitch coming in with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the first. Misses low and inside. Without jinxing, I will mention it pretty much every time the bases are loaded, especially when a power hitter is up at the plate. There has never been a grand slam, home or away, here at Flathead Field. That was it. That one is in, and it misses. I think Sebastian Selway, maybe if not aware of the the record that he doesn't want to give up a home run in this moment, he definitely is aware of the fact that Livingston Morris is almost twice the size of him at the plate. 2-0 coming in from Selway into Livingston Morris, the DH today. Misses. Count goes to 3-0. Selway's not giving him anything to consider. (3-0), 1 out, bases loaded. What is Selway going to come up with as he gets his feet set on the mound? Kind of grinds them into place and prepares to fire. 3-0. A called strike. Get me over pitch does just that. Puts a 1 in the strike column. Still 3-1. At risk of a ball pushing a run across and giving Livingston Morris one of his easier RBIs. The 3-1 coming into Livingston Morris. Swings on it. And it's bobbled by O'Connor. The throw to first is in time. So it's an RBI ground out, but O'Connor was thinking about 2 and not able to get 2. That is the second game in a row where a bobble by him may have cost the Range Riders, or may have cost the Paddleheads, I should say, some limiting of the bats from the other squad. And up comes Drew Sims. Cash scores on that last play. Wofford moves up to second. Linscott to third. First pitch to Drew Sims. Misses on the inside. Count goes to 1-0 for Drew Sims. Because they still got the out at first of Livingston Morris, that doesn't go down as an error on O'Connor, but he surely will hold himself to a higher standard in terms of trying to make that play. He's probably frustrated with himself. The count is 1-1. 2 outs here. Runners on second and third. No sacrifice will get the job done. It needs to be some sort of hit for Drew Sims at the plate, batting in the 7 spot. Swung on. This one's going to be down in the gap. And Drew Sims will round, and he's heading to second. Drew Sims boogie into second base, my man. A 2 RBI double for the big catcher out of Utah Valley University. And what a play that was for Drew Sims. When you're feeling it, young man. And, well, he's certainly feeling it. Brings home 2 RBIs. And his RBI count, I believe now, is at 5 on the season. 5 RBIs in 2 games. Not too shabby. Not even 2 games. A game and an at-bat. Had those long strides, but he just figured test the arm. As this one's hit into the outfield, maybe a chance to get down. It will not. Greenwalt comes to it, picks it out of the air, but a crucial 2-out, 2 RBI double from Drew Sims continues his hot streak. And him and the Riders are feeling pretty good right now. Up 4-0 as we head to the second. Up comes Jason Newman, batting in the 4 spot as usual. Cleaning up for his partner in crime, Lamar Sparks. Let's go over the Paddleheads lineup because I have not said it thus far, as I'll wait for the first pitch from Barros into Newman. It's a called strike. Count goes to 0-1. The first 3 that we saw in the first were Riley, O'Connor, and Sparks. Of course, in this inning, we'll see the middle 3 at least, Newman, Gatewood, and Greenwald. The bottom 3 are Cameron Thompson, Willman, as this one's hit over to short. Broussard will feel. And a good stretch by Brody Wofford over at first to make sure he snagged that one. 4 straight retired to start this contest for Noah Barros. I said the bottom 3 are Cameron Thompson, Cameron Willman, and Jared Akins. That's how the Paddleheads line up. They are wearing their tie-dye jerseys, one of their road alternates. I hope you see it because I can't even explain all the colors that are going on. Yeah, you kind of get a good sense on the stream of the feng shui they got working on the jerseys. Orange, green, light green, light orange, dark orange. You know. 1-1 is the count. That one's a called strike from Barros through 9 pitches in the first inning. Now is at 4 here in the second. That one misses off the plate. Count goes to 2-1. On deck, of course, is Keaton Greenwald, the center fielder. Gatewood catching today is the man at the plate, the left-hander. Left-handed batter, I should say. 2-1. Swung on and missed. Count goes to 2-2 now. The defensive alignment for the Glacier Range Riders. Sims behind the plate again. Miller over at third. Broussard's the shortstop. Cash at first. Cash at second. Wofford at first. This one is pounded down the left field line. And it will be foul. Count stays at 2-2. Cash at second, not first. Never seen him play first. Probably with his defensive acumen could do decent over there, but we'll leave it to the taller and more used to first base Brody Wofford to play at the first base bag. Robbie Scott, after making his debut yesterday, is a left fielder again today. Ben McConnell in center, Sam Linscott in right. You're used to hearing that. Foul ball. Count stays 2-2. This one is hit, and it's going to be a nice catch on the run from Dean Miller in shallow left field. Got into the grass-colored turf, and a little bunny hop up to snag that one out of the air for out number 2. Up now is Keaton Greenwald. He sees a strike right down the middle to start off his first trip to the plate. Keaton Greenwald, the center fielder out of Lubbock Christian, which is in, of course, Lubbock, Texas. Originally from Clovis, New Mexico. Another little bunny hop, this time by Barros, and he fields it off of one hop and runs it over to first base and flips to Wofford for out number 3. No strikeouts for Barros, who is used to getting the K, but that won't matter. He's through 20 pitches thrown, and we'll be right back for the bottom of the second. Brant Broussard, who is well known to these fans here at Flathead Field, steps up to the tune of the Space Jam. I don't know exactly what the song is called. It might just be Space Jam. I think one of the best walk-up songs that these range riders have. That one will miss inside off the shoe tops. Count goes to 1-0. That's a base hit from Brant Broussard. Rocked that one past O'Connor. No chance for him to make the play at second. A hard hit ball that gets through all the way into right field. A base hit to lead off the inning, and it has been a hit parade in the early going. 5 hits and only 1 full inning pitched by Sebastian Selway. 32 pitches thrown, 30 of them in inning number 1. First pitch swinging. Selway will field, and he'll take the surefire out over at first. Not going to mess with trying to crank that one to second and get out Broussard. Smart play by the pitcher. And Selway has one away here in the bottom of the second. Up comes Ryan Cash now. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Later scored. Plano, Texas native will match up with Selway, the Californian, for the second time. First pitch misses low. Count goes to 1-0. Good scoot over by Gatewood to make sure that didn't 5-hole him. If I didn't already go over the defensive line, I'll do it once more. Gatewood behind the plate. Thompson over at third. Willman at short. O'Connor at second base. Newman is the first baseman. And the outfield from left to right is Akins, Greenwald, and Lamar Sparks. Swung on and hit into shallow center field. A green light for Brant Broussard, and he will score easily. An RBI single from Ryan Cash. Make it 5-0 in favor of the Glacier Range Riders. Great patience shown by Ryan Cash as that one floated into it, and a term that I heard Drew Sims last night when talking about his home run, but out of his hand, the ball seemed to just look big there for Ryan Cash because he squared that one up perfectly and popped it right up the middle for a base hit and an RBI. Up comes Sam Linscott in a game that is now 5-0 in favor of the Range Riders. This one's getting away quick, as now we have 4 bodies standing up in the Missoula Paddleheads bullpen. This one's up near the head of Sam Linscott. Count goes to 1-0. Linscott's and myself's Mariners back in the win column today. Linscott seems to appreciate that as he's come out well with that single into right field that he started off this game with. Linscott's just my daily chance to mention the Mariners. 1-0. 1 out. Runner on first is Cash. This one's swung on. O'Connor will field. The flip for 1. The throw for 2. Not in time. Safe over at first base. O'Connor played that one well enough to get the force of Cash at second. And Linscott just has too many wheels and ekes it out for just the fielder's choice. Brody Wofford 0 for 0. He walked his first time up. Dean Miller, first batter to get out in the first inning, will be patiently awaiting his revenge tour on Sebastian Selway. Selway, of course, has had a run against him this inning, but the pitch count is low. Just 7 pitches thrown, and he's already outdone his first professional outing as he gets a swing and a miss out of Brody Wofford. Count goes to 0-1. Runner at first is Linscott. Plenty of speed. He'll be a decent chance to steal, and he is going to fake a run, actually. Fooled me. Foul ball. Count goes to 0-2. No pickoff attempts. I don't think we've seen any over to first base. Oh, 2 outs. Runner on first. Here in the bottom of the second, 5-0. The Glacier Range Riders lead the defending champ Missoula Paddleheads. Swung on and missed in the dirt for out number 3. The tag is applied. 1 run comes home on the Ryan Cash RBI single. It's 5-0. We head to the third. Up comes Cameron Thompson. We're going to see another Cameron and Cameron Willman, as well as the number 9 batter, Jared Akins, in this half inning. First pitch is a foul ball off the third baseman Thompson's bat. Noah Barros, I mentioned no strikeouts for him thus far. And let me back you up with some of the numbers that tell the story of his strikeout pedigree as the count will go to 1-1. At Holy Names University this past spring, just finishing up his career, a few months ago, he had 110 strikeouts in a single season, which was the record for the Pac West Conference and obviously Holy Names University as well. That one misses upside down. You know what I meant. No, you don't. It misses. 2-1 is the count. No outs. The pitch in from Barros. Misses low. Count goes to 3-1 now for the leadoff batter, Cameron Thompson. Really the first time a Paddlehead has maybe had a chance against Barros. This one is swung on, a high fly ball to right field, backing up to the track, and it will be gone. The perfect game is gone. The no-hitter is gone. The shutout is gone. A solo home run by Cameron Thompson makes it 5-1 in the top of the third. That one just skied up into the jet stream. And it carried Lynn Scott. All he could do was walk and then watch as that one crested over the 16-foot fence out there in right field. Now 5-1 in the top of the third here. We just had a quick conversation between Nick Hogan and our home plate umpire. Don't know what it was about. I didn't see anything egregious. I don't think the called balls were that far off. Counts 1-0 after the first pitch misses to Cameron Willman. That one definitely missed. Skied over the head of everybody, and the back heel out of play from Willman off the rebound. Two-0 count, no outs. 5-1 here in the top of the third. Foul ball. Count goes to 2-1. For Noah Barros, he's continued that strikeout pedigree into this season. Not this game yet, but he is second in Range Rider history all time in strikeouts with 49 coming into this contest. Foul ball, make it 2-2. The number 1 man in Range Rider history. Oh, wait, actually, Barros is now number 1. A brief stint at the top for Logan Van Wy, who for most of the season, until Barros just passed him up, it was first place for Logan Van Wy with 46 strikeouts, but getting to 49 last game. Now the all-time leader in strikeouts, Noah Barros, in Range Rider franchise history. This one is a high pop-up. It's going to be foul out of play. Just off the roof of the last luxury suite here. If anybody's listening from home and they're in the Flathead area, you got to come down and check out the luxury suites. There are pretty great deals on them, and they're air-conditioned, which I love. This one's out to center field and into the glove of Ben McConnell for out number 1. A well-struck ball, but L8 is what it will go down as. For those of you who care about my well-being, obviously, slowly Flathead Field being put together from the initial necessary components to then adding on patchwork here and there. Opening night against the Billings Mustangs, I was in a room that was just freshly drywalled. Now I'm in a booth with an actual countertop, plugins, Ethernet, all the necessities. The problem is this press box on the left field foul area, the third base side, does not have air conditioning in it. Swing and a miss makes the count 1-1. Speaking of, it's 90 degrees today. We cracked the 9-0 mark. The rest of this week looks hot, hot, hot in the Flathead Valley. Great time to spend the day out on the lake and then the night back at the ballpark. Most of the seats are shaded, especially once the sun starts to set. If you want to be in the sun too, just get a spot down the first base line. So right now about 1.5 sections are uncovered to get a little sun. Swing and a miss. And the count goes to 2-2. Jared Akins up at the plate. Akins, originally from Altadena, California. Cal State Fresno graduate. The 2-2 to Akins. Swung on a foul ball. No, Barros' pitch count is not that much different right now than Selway's. The runs are different, 5-1 in favor of the Range Riders, but only 3 less pitches thrown by Barros as he tries to get the punch out here over Akins. Swung on and missed. He does just that. The first strikeout of the game for Noah Barros puts 2 away in the top of the third.
Number 6, designated hitter, Brandon Ryan.
First pitch to the second time that he'll see Brandon Riley is a ball low from Noah Barros. In there, count goes to 1-0. One more pitch, and he will be equal with his counterpart Selway in pitches with 40 each. And it might just get him out of the inning. This is a high fly ball. It'll be in the Bermuda Triangle. A little bit shaky there as I was trying to figure out who called off who, but it ends up being Robbie Scott that catches out number 3. A solo home run from Cameron Thompson makes it 5-1, but still a 4-run advantage for the Glacier Range Riders. We're back here in the bottom of the third. It's 5-1. The Glacier Range Riders lead the Missoula Paddlehead. Sebastian Selway out for his third inning of work. Much better second inning for him, but still a run across on an RBI single from Ryan Cash. Kept the pitch count low, though. And eating up innings right now is going to be an objective for him, just trying to smooth it out and limit the damage. There is plenty of offense on the Missoula side, so they don't have to worry too much about some runs against. That's a swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-2 on Dean Miller. Dean Miller, his first time up, popped out into foul territory to Jason Newman over at first. 0-2. That'll hit the back of Dean Miller. And I could hear the thud of that one. Did not seem like it felt good, but Dean Miller takes it like a champ. And you can never complain about getting hit by a pitch, especially when the count is 0-2. Clearly not intentional in that mode. And it does you a lot more favors than it does the pitcher. Selway's leadoff batter will get aboard. And up comes Livingston Morris. 0 for 1 today is Livy, but he did have an RBI on a ground out to second base. First pitch inside. Shooting inside to grab that pitch was Gatewood. Does a good job of it. No chance for Dean Miller to run. Miller does have a couple steals on the year, so check out what he may do over there at first. Keep an eye on him. Don't know exactly kind of how the physique changed for Dean Miller, but I can tell you his freshman year at UC Riverside, he had a ton of steals. Let me get you an actual number. Freshman year, he had 22 stolen bases, which is a ton. And he will go run, and he has this one easy. I don't know if Selway thought he was into his windup, didn't want to get called for a balk there, but he just let Miller run, and he jogged the rest of the way to second. Give him a stolen base there. It was a called strike, as I think Livingston Morris was never going to swing at that one. Going to allow his fellow power hitter, Dean Miller, to reach second, and now we got a ton of staggering around. And I think time was just called. I wasn't looking down at the home plate umpire, and I just saw the most obvious balk that you could have ever seen if time was not called, where Selway, practically threw the ball but held on to it. 2-1 coming in. Misses low. Count goes to 3-1. Livingston Morris an RBI already today. Whatever happened between that wasn't his freshman year, actually. That was in the Northwoods League. I was seeing it all wrong. So that was in 2016 when Dean Miller was in college at Riverside Community College. Swung on. Count will go full here for Livingston Morris. No outs. Runner on second. Bottom of the third, 5-1 the Range Riders lead. So in 52 games played for the Battle Creek Bombers at the time, 7 home runs, so he had some of that power, but it was a ton of speed for him. A .330 batting average, 22 stolen bases, on-base percentage of .404 for Dean Miller. And I'm pretty sure that summer in Battle Creek is what initially got him on scouts' radars to eventually get drafted. Stutter stepping at second. And it's fired in and cracked to left center field. A base hit. A green light for Dean Miller. The throw in, and it will go nowhere close. An RBI single from Livingston Morris. It's 6-1 in favor of the Glacier Range Riders. A strong at-bat from Livingston Morris, using every single pitch to different effect. Getting a stolen base in there so he gets the guy in scoring position, and An RBI single will do. 2 RBIs now on the day for Livingston Miller, and a guy that has gotten off to a very quick start as a Glacier Range Rider. Drew Sims comes up. First pitch low. Count goes to 1-0. We're getting serious warm-ups going on in the pen for Missoula right here as Sebastian Selway at the plate just through pitch number 50 will look to try and get into his third inning of work, trying to get some sort of out here, as he has 6 earned runs against in 2 innings. Better than his initial outing, though, where he really got dinged up. That one just hits the top part of the strike zone. Count goes to 1-1, no outs. Drew Sims at the plate. The former UVU catcher sees this one and loops it into shallow right center field. It'll be Livingston Morris now heading for third. The throw in will be way offline. A single from Drew Sims, and the hit parade continues. 8th hit by the Range Riders, and Drew Sims, another hit to add to his impressive pro resume. That'll do. Well, I just can't even process what Drew Sims has come in. You got to hear this. This is a guy that, and now as we have a pitching visit, and we're going to see if we get a call to the pen. And yeah, that is the end of the day for the pitcher, Sebastian Selway. And he'll go over his final line. He is responsible for Sims and Morris on base. I got to really quick just go over what Drew Sims did in college. And he was a frequent appearance for the Utah Valley Wolverines, but he really wasn't known for his offensive acumen. His batting average over those 5 seasons, and again, played in a ton of games, 172 as a freshman, 246 as a sophomore. That was his high. And the new pitcher is Nate Boyle. We'll talk about him in a moment, but let me finish the rant I'm going on here while Nate Boyle throws his warm-ups. 172 as a freshman, 246 as a sophomore. That was his high in batting average. And then in the COVID-shortened 2020 season, an .063 batting average, just 3 hits in 48 at-bats. 162 as a fourth-year senior year 1A, whatever you want to call it. 162 in 40 appearances. So below the Mendoza line at that point. And then this past season, put himself above the Mendoza line, got into a roll, hit .210, but was still clearly with the Wolverines known for his defensive acumen and what he brought behind the plate. And we saw some of that yesterday with some good blocks and a throw out of a runner over at third on a pitch that was in the dirt. But Drew Sims, there's just something about the wood bat that he seems to like, something about playing in northwestern Montana. And the amazing story about him is that he woke up yesterday morning in Los Angeles, California, Hollywood, where he's from, 3 a.m. He woke up to catch a flight to Montana. I don't think there's any direct flights from LAX. I didn't ask him a specific route, but assume you have to go through Denver, Salt Lake, Seattle, or Minnesota. He probably didn't go through Minnesota, but could have. Those are kind of the main airports that go into Montana. So he gets up at 3 a.m., boards a flight, gets on the way. He has to, luckily, his plane wasn't delayed, or if it wasn't delayed as much, because he gets in there. Stu Peterson, the assistant coach, picks him up from the airport. He is rushed to the office, signs the paperwork, gets on the active roster by the time that you need to have the roster in, which is early afternoon, I believe. And then that night, he hits a double in his first at-bat. A home run leads to a 7-run victory over the Missoula Paddleheads. And that just blows my mind. You know, I sleep for less than 7 hours in a night, and I'm tweaking out the next day. And to wake up and sit on a plane for hours and hours and hours and get up and perform at the plate, you know, it shows, first of all, how much natural talent Drew Sims has, but just how much you just love to get out there and play. And for him, obviously a great moment for him. You can check out the interview on the Glacier Range Riders social media. I assume you've already seen it if you're a Range Riders fan, but he was really well-spoken, and you could just tell, kind of just beaming and very happy to be a part of this squad here in Glacier, a brand new stadium for a brand new professional player in Drew Sims. And now let me tell you about the starting pitcher, who will see his first batter, Robbie Scott, with runners on the corners and no outs. First pitch up high to Robbie Scott. Count goes to 1-0. It's Nate Boyle that comes on in relief of Sebastian Selway. For Boyle, he stands 6'2", 210 pounds, out of Farmersville, Ohio. Most recently finished up his collegiate career at Drury University, which is in Springfield, Missouri. This one's hit over to second. A field for one. The throw is not in time to first base, and an RBI ground out. A first professional RBI, I believe, for Robbie Scott. Livingston Morris was the one that scored on that. Drew Sims was the force out at second base. Brant Broussard up at the plate now. Bottom of the third, one out. It's 7-1 in favor of the Glacier Range Riders. First pitch to Brant Broussard goes high. Count goes to 1-0. Let me tell you a little bit more about Nate Boyle. Originally from Ohio, like I said. He started his collegiate career at Jackson State Community College before heading to Toledo and then finishing out his career at Drury State. The stolen base is successful. Robbie Scott into second base. The ball was inside. Count goes to 2-0. And Brant Broussard has a runner in scoring position in this 7-1 game. One for one today is Brant Broussard. A single into right field. Over his collegiate career, Nate Boyle, a 1-2 record in those 2 seasons that count as official stats. JUCO stats are a little bit harder to come by, so they don't include that on the baseball references page for these guys. That one will miscount now. 3-0 for Brant Broussard. 1-2 record, 8.66 ERA at Toledo and Drury. And 16 strikeouts to 12 walks. Most recently in the first part of this season in Bismarck with the Larks in the Northwoods League, a 2.25 ERA, as Robbie Scott will steal third. It was a strike, so count goes to 3-1. And Robbie Scott, just run yourself around the bases, young man. That'll do the trick, as clearly Nick Hogan getting a prototype that plays ball just like he did. A guy that can run and get around without needing a bat to take him there. Swung on by Brant Broussard. Foul ball. 3-2 is the count now. Robbie Scott on third base. Brant Broussard at the plate. 1 out, so a sacrifice is an option, whether by ground out or a sac fly. On deck, the leadoff batter, Ben McConnell, awaits. 2 runs across already in this half inning for the Glacier Range Riders. 3-2 coming in. Swung on to short. And they're going to just throw out Brant Broussard over at first. A good stretch from Newman, but an RBI ground out. The second of the inning by the Glacier Range Riders make it 8-1 in favor of the home side. That was a slow roller. Willman had to charge that one and make a good play. And for the first time in Nate Boyle's outing, he has the bases empty against him. 3 runs across in this inning. The hits are now equal to the runs for the Range Riders, as well as the Paddleheads. 8 hits on and 8 runs for Glacier. 1 hit, 1 run for the Missoula Paddleheads. Just that solo shot in the last half inning. And the Range Rider offense outdueling what Cameron Thompson did, tripling it with the 3 across in the bottom half of this inning. 1-0 pitch coming in. Make it 2-0 to Ben McConnell. Like Robbie Scott, don't want to let him on the bases because he'll do his best to run his way around. Only 8 innings pitched in the Northwoods League for Nate Boyle before Missoula found him on their radar and got him out to the Rocky Mountain West. This one's into shallow left field, and it's a base hit for Ben McConnell. He's 2 for 3 on the day now. Jared Akins almost got a really funky hop or spin off the turf there. And it almost cooked by him. If that one would have cooked by him, Ben McConnell might still be running. Ryan Cash steps up. 2 for 2 is Ryan Cash. 2 singles, a fly ball into center field, and then a little bit lower of a hit into center field. Call it more of a line drive, but both right up the middle. His timing has been really solid. Out of the left-handed batter's box against the starter Selway, and now against the reliever Nate Boyle. He will also bat as a switch hitter from that left-handed batter's box. 8-1 is our score here. The pitch. Running on the first pitch is McConnell. The throw is not in time. Another stolen base. A swing and a miss makes it 0-1, but yeah, they'll just keep running if you can't catch them. And for Gatewood, not an everyday catcher. I already mentioned I feel like I've seen him more at first base for the Paddleheads. But he's listed as first baseman and a catcher. But usually you see Nick Cece or Henderson Perez behind the plate. And the 0-1 will come in. Swung on and missed. Cash fooled on that one. Count goes to 0-2. Got a runner in scoring position, and Ben McConnell that will run pretty much as soon as he sees ball hit back. Really great Wednesday night crowd here. We had a great crowd of about 1,750 last night on a Tuesday. And a swing and a miss there from Ryan Cash for out number 3. But it's 3 more across, 2 RBI groundouts, a part of that run. It is 8-1 as we head to the 4th inning of play. McLean O'Connor leads off the top of the 4th inning. The other 2, besides McLean O'Connor, that we're guaranteed to see, the right fielder Lamar Sparks and the First baseman, Jason Newman. Barros on the mound. He's ready to play ball. He's set. And he will wind and fire. Nice breaking ball that finds the zone. Got McLean O'Connor bending away from it, and then it found the zone. Noah Barros. We'll see that one hit as a slow roller. Barehand play from Dean Miller. Oh, my word. Oh, my. Dean Miller just barehanded that one off of the ground and fired it sidearm into first base just in time to catch O'Connor. And what a play that was from the Glacier third baseman. Wow. The entire Glacier roster feeling good after last night and the start today, and just send it, I guess. This one's a high pop-up. Brody Wofford coming over. He is more than happy to lend way to Ryan Cash running in, and that's exactly what he does. Cash comes in all the way from second base and makes that catch in foul territory for the out. Count goes to 0-0 for the new batter as there is 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Jason Newman steps up, trying to be some sort of disruption in the machine that Noah Barros has been. A foul ball will start off his at-bat. The only disruption thus far, a solo home run from Cameron Thompson in the last half inning. And solo home run doesn't do much when the defense has allowed 8 runs in the first 3 frames. 0-1, 2 outs coming in, bases empty. Newman watches that one go by, and it missed somewhere. Don't know exactly where, though. Count goes to 1-1. Barros rocks and fires and gets a swing and a miss out of the big Newman. Jason Newman almost indefinitely, I mean, barring something that, we don't even want to consider, he will, as we get a swing and a miss, maybe I'll say next time he's up. He's close to the home run record. I'll tell you that much. He is awfully close to it, and definitely something you need to watch out for. I'll talk more about that maybe next time he's up if I can remember it. I'm all over the place, and so is the Range Riders offense. We get to see them again in the bottom of the fourth. Back here, we're in the bottom of the fourth, and it's Nate Boyle coming out. He threw 14 pitches in his inning of relief last time out. Was able to limit the damage against him, that is. However, 2 runs against the starter, Selway, that technically go on Selway's record, did end up scoring while the pitcher, Nate Boyle, was on the mound. Let me real quick give you Selway's final line. Another outing to forget for Selway out of California. The first pitch is a ball. Count goes to 1-0. Selway, a 2.0 inning pitched, 8 hits, 8 runs, all earned, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, a hit by pitch as well. Will bring his ERA down slightly from the 47.5 it was at coming in. Just a 36 ERA in the 2 innings. Called strike. Count is 1-1. Called strike. Count is 1-1. I will say that second inning, it looked like it really could have gone downhill. Could have gone like that first one did, where he clearly lost control of the ball game after 1 out into the second inning and ended up getting yanked at that point. But he screwed his head on, was able to limit it to just 1 run of damage and kept his pitch count low. But the problem is the Range Riders just figured him out right away. They poured on the hits to start this game, and then he got a little sketchy around the strike zone. And then that 0-2 hit by pitch of Dean Miller probably was close to the final line for Michael Schlacht in terms of keeping him out there. 1-2 coming in. Swung on by Linscott. Backing up to the track, and it looks like it'll die in the glove of Lamar Sparks. It will. A good carry from Sam Linscott, but not enough juice on it to get it out of the ballpark. A fly out to right field pushes Sam Linscott's day to 1 for 3. The guy who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout as well as a walk. It's Brody Wofford. He was the only victim of a Selway strikeout as that ended the second inning. It's 8-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 out, bases empty for Brody Wofford up at the plate. Just saw on Facebook that Wofford does have some family visiting in town. First pitch, a foul ball. Don't know exactly the relation of the family. One member, either a little brother or a cousin or a nephew, something like that. He's been playing catch before the game with him. Cool to see the generations of baseball, not only from the Flathead Valley locals, but, friends and family of coaches and players that come in and get to see this new facility and get experience, the people they love playing the game that they love. A foul ball. Count goes to 0-2. 1 out here for Brody Wofford. Not only did the Wofford clan come to Flathead Field and check out the baseball game, they also went to Whitefish Mountain Resort, also known as Big Mountain, because that was his previous name. And, and they did the alpine slides that they got at Whitefish Mountain. I did that with my buddy who was visiting in town last week, and I can tell you what, if you got the need for speed and you're in the Flathead Valley, head on over there because it is a lot of fun. All gas, no brakes. That's my motto when doing it. There's definitely some times when you want to put on the brakes a little bit. The 1-2 coming in. Thought about it, didn't go. Count goes to 2-2. 1 out, bases empty for Wofford. If you're feeling really wild, get your timer out. Time yourself down the left track of the Whitefish Mountain Resort Alpine Slide. See if you can beat 105, which was my record, in four trips down. Foul ball again. Count stays 2-2. Also at Whitefish Mountain, you can go to take a chairlift to the top of the mountain, and you can get food at the Summit House up top there. And the view's as well as the food are not too shabby. Do that during the day, come to the Range Riders game at night, not bad at all. This one's over to left field. It's a high fly ball. And right next to the left field line, Jared Akins will come on and make the catch. A fly out to left field is good for out number 2. Up comes Dean Miller. 0 for 1 today is Miller. Does have a hit by pitch to his credit after he had an 0-2 count but got plunked right on the back with a bruised ball. Now, first pitch that he'll see versus Nate Boyle will miss up high. Count goes to 1-0. Two outs, bases empty, bottom of the 4th. Dean Miller wanted to go for it, but watch that one just drift off the plate. 2-0 is the count now. On deck, if we get there, is Morris, followed by Sims, Scott, and Broussard. That's the rest of the Range Riders lineup. You've seen 3-4. Linscott and Wofford in this inning as well. Another ball misses. Not by much, but by enough. 3-0 is the count with 2 outs to Dean Miller. .3-0 pitch coming in. A called strike. Jazz finds the inside corner of the strike zone there. It was not a clear get-me-over pitch, but does find a way to get over, and you usually get the benefit of the doubt on 3-0 if you're the pitcher. Now it's 3-1, a hitter's count for the power hitter in Dean Miller. And he swings away at that one and just about lost his shoes. Count goes full now, 3-2, 2 outs. If there were runners on first or second or both, not on just second, but there was a runner on first and anybody else, they'd be going on the pitch. There is nobody on. 3-2, 2 outs. Coming in to Dean Miller from Nate Boyle, his 30th pitch since coming on. Boyle sets, glances at Miller, locks and fires. Called strike 3, and Miller takes 2 steps towards first base and then turns around and will have a long conversation with our home plate umpire before accepting what cannot be undone. A strike 3 looking and a blank inning thrown by the Missoula Paddleheads. They still trail 8-1 as we head to the 5th inning of play. Nick Gatewood is given the lead out to Eye of the Tiger as he walks up. 0 for 1 today is Gatewood, as Barros will see him for the second time. First pitch coming in, and it's a ball up and away outside. 48 pitches thrown now by Noah Barros, 47 in those first 4 innings of work. Nick Gaywood originally from Duluth, Georgia, and the Georgian will send this one to a fellow Peach Stater over in Brody Wofford, who collects it off the ground and goes and scrambles to first base for an unassisted out number 1. This is good timing. We get that Georgia connection right there. And up comes Keaton Greenwald. Greenwald is not from the Peach State. He's from trying to think of New Mexico's nickname. Something Enchanted? The Land of Enchantment? The Land of Enchantment. There it is. Double checked it. Made sure he's not from the Peach State. He's from the Land of Enchantment. And that one, I was trying to think of some enchantment pun or way to work that in there. But I will not. I will hold off on it. That's a ball. Count goes to 2-1. Two on, 1 out. Barros pitches it in. This one is hit high out to right field. Linscott comes on. Linscott makes the catch and makes it look easy. The Apple Stater, or the Evergreen State, I think is more called the Evergreen State, but you can go Apple Stater as well. And the guy from the Apple State, is just going to keep saying it, I guess. The Washington native, Linscott, makes catch number 1. That is our theme of the inning. We are sponsored by no one currently for the theme of the inning. If you want to sponsor our theme of the inning, feel free to contact us. Cameron Thompson swung on, fouled back. Thompson's out of Pasadena, Texas, one of numerous members from the Lone Star State. 0-1 coming in. He does have the lone scoring play of the day for the Missoula Paddleheads, as he is going to have another hit to his name. This one's going to bounce off the ground, then off the wall, and a stand-up double for Cameron Thompson, the lone Paddlehead that has had the number of Noah Barros. 2 hits against Barros, both off of Thompson, and both extra base hits, a home run and a double. That one went the opposite way and was fired into left field. Cameron Willman stepping up, and Drew Sims is going to have a conversation with his pitcher. And this is a matchup pitching to batter of 2 members of the Golden State. Well, Barros, an adopted member of the Golden State, went to college in the Bay Area in California. But of course, as I think I mentioned earlier in the game, he is from the Grand Canyon State, Arizona. First pitch misses. Count goes to 1-0. It's 8-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. A runner on second for Cameron Willman at the plate. 2 outs. So not much room to work with for the Paddleheads, but trying to get something across here, as this will be hit over to third. Miller will field. Miller will throw, and it will be a catch and a tag. The throw was offline, but Brody Wofford, quick thinking to grab that and stamp one on Willman for out number 3 in the top of the 5th. A double from Thompson, but it's not enough. We head to the bottom of the 5th, still 8-1. Up comes Livingston Morris. We got Peach State, Golden State, Sunshine State here in the bottom half of the inning, as I'll just keep it rolling, and we will represent these guys in their home states as best as we can. Of course, many of them have adopted other communities where they've played summer collegiate ball, where they've played their collegiate ball, or maybe other minor league places. But as of now, Livingston Morris just tanked a ball, and it is foul. But oh my word, there might be an ambulance down the left field line to perform CPR on that baseball, because I'm not sure it lived after getting hit by that Livingston Morris bat. Oh my word, man. Absolutely just swinging away at it and connecting with it. And that one will miss low and inside. Yeah, clearly a ball that was, if it's fair, it's gone. And that one drifted, but whoo-wee. It surely is a kind of a warning shot to the pitcher, Nate Boyle, of how to approach a guy like Livingston Morris. And since that powerful foul ball, we have two pitches that were not that close to the strike zone. 2-1 is the count. No outs for Livingston Morris at the plate. First pitch in from Nate Boyle after the count went 2-1. Up high, way up high. Make it 3-1. He does not seem like he wants to give Livingston Morris anything else to make contact with. Out of Woodstock, Georgia. That's why I mentioned him as a Peach Stater. And it'll be ball four. A loud foul ball, and then 4 straight balls allow Livingston Morris to reach on the walk. He's been red hot in these past 2 games, trying to be a huge factor behind resurgence in an offense that dwindled during the Idaho Falls series. And, of course, Idaho Falls, their offense is absolutely cuckoo in terms of run scoring. So if you can't keep pace with them, you're going to fall behind very quickly. That's what happened to the Range Riders as they lost that series 5-1. First pitch coming in. It'll find the strike zone versus Drew Sims. I mentioned a Garden Stater, Hollywood, California. I like the nickname Showtime for Drew Sims because it seems that since yesterday when he stepped on the field with the lights on here at Flathead Field, it has been everything like Showtime for Sims. This one's hit over to third. It'll be a chance for 2-1, and it is 2. An announcer's jinx is good for a 5-4-3 double play, and 2 gone in the bottom of the 5th.
Number 9, left fielder, Robbie.
Nate Boyle will see Robbie Scott. And I said we were guaranteed to see Sunshine State as well. From the town of Longwood, Florida. Rookie Robbie Scott, first pitch swinging. It's going to be an awkward hop for Jason Newman, but he collects it and he gets to first base in time. Is the flip to Boyle for out number 3. 1 pitch swinging from Robbie Scott, and he grounds out 3-1. We'll be right back for the 6th inning. It's 8-1. The Paddleheads trail the Range Riders. Number 9 batter, Jared Akins, will lead off the top of the 6th here. 0 for 1 today is Akins. Strikeout swinging for him. We're guaranteed to see him as well as Riley and O'Connor. First pitch swinging, a foul ball. Count goes to 0-1. Noah Barros thus far, 58 pitches thrown through 5 innings. That is an impressive ratio in terms of pitches per inning. The 0-1 coming in now. A called strike. Count goes to 0-2 now on Akins. No outs. For Barros, the key to that low pitch count really has been the fact that he hasn't got the high strikeout total that he's used to, as that one misses off the plate. Just 2 Ks for the right-hander out of Phoenix, Arizona. Prescott Valley, Arizona, actually. I knew it wasn't exactly Phoenix. Tanner Solomon, our starter last night, was from Phoenix. This one is rifled over to Brody Wofford, who kind of hockey goalies it, keeps it in front of him, and is able to scramble over to first himself, and unassisted out over at the bag for out number 1. Brandon Riley up now. 0 for 2 is Brandon Riley. Ground out and a fly out. Riley, originally from Burlington, North Carolina, played for the Paddleheads last year. And the first pitch he'll see is a swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-1. 2 straight nights with Arizona natives pitching the ball, and it has worked out so good so far. So far, so good. For the Glacier Range Riders, a ball makes it 1-1 with 1 out to Brandon Riley from Noah Barros. Tanner Solomon went 6 full, picked up the win last night. As this one's a dribbler. Going to be a play that's going to have to be made by the catcher. Sims gets up and throws, and out over at first base. The second bare hand play we've seen from the Glacier defense. This time it's Drew Sims showing his defensive acumen and getting out number 2. Up comes McLean O'Connor. McLean O'Connor 0 for 2 today. Pop out and a pop out. That one is a called strike. Count goes to 0-1. 65 pitches thrown by Barros. That is an incredibly low pitch count, and you will likely count on seeing him in the 7th. As I hesitate to say that because of the good old announcer's jinx. Swung on. This one is carrying out to center field. Ben McConnell is back. Ben McConnell is making the catch in center field for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning worked by Noah Barros. And it is still 8-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Back here, we are in the bottom of the sixth inning. It is Nate Boyle back out for another inning of work, proving his ability, coming on in relief, limiting damage, and then throwing 2 shutout innings since. Been really solid from him and kept this game within striking distance, depending on your definition of striking distance. I'd say it's close, and with the Missoula offense, you never know. Problem right now is the offense is just not getting enough pitches on Noah Barros, and he's cruising. But the Range Riders did allow 15 runs in an inning, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, in an inning that was started by Noah Barros, so nothing is impossible. 1-0 coming in from Boyle to Brant Broussard. It'll miss. Make it 2-0. No outs. Bases empty coming in. It'll be 3-0 for Brant Broussard. Broussard today singled and grounded out to short. Rio coming in. And it'll miss. A 4-pitch walk, and that will spark to life some action in the Paddleheads bullpen. Never told you the official umpiring crew that we got tonight. Behind the plate, it's Kelly Atkinson. Over at first, it is Brandon Snyder. And then at third, it's Stu Bertrand. Up comes Ben McConnell. I believe the conversation that the Paddleheads just had is going to count as their mound visit this inning. So if they meet with their pitcher again, that will be the end of the day for Boyle. back here in the top of the 7th. As apologize for if you might have just lost our sound briefly, but don't have much to tell you. There was a out of Jason Newman. I don't exactly even know how it happened because I was trying to figure out how to get your sound back. And then there was just a out over at first base for Nick Gatewood. So there's 2 gone. Still 8-2 in the top of the 7th here. I'm sure you could see it somewhat. And all you need to know really is the baseline that it wasn't out. Again, sorry for the audio going down there. I'll try and keep a closer eye on that. As up at the plate, it's Keaton Greenwald, who sees a strike there. Okay, double checking my notes. It was a 6-3 ground out, as you likely saw. And I just looked back at the stream and resaw. And then the unassisted out to Brody Wofford over at first. Count is 0-2. And now it's 1-2 as that one just misses to Keaton Greenwald. 0-2 is Greenwald. Again, sorry about that. I don't know if you missed the first part of the inning where we had a solo home run by Lamar Sparks. That made it 8-2. And there's a base hit. That's the first hit from Keaton Greenwald. Has put that one into shallow center field. And Cameron Thompson, who also has gone yard off of Noah Barros, stepping in now. Barros at 79 pitches. This next one will be 80 against Cameron Thompson, who's had Barros' number today. The only paddlehead really that has done so. Lamar Sparks, of course, you give him a good credit because of the solo home run that he jacked over the left field fence. But he also went 0-2 before that solo home run. I was telling a story, but I think I was on mute most of the time, so bear with me if I did say part of this or really any of this. I was saying it when Jason Newman was up to bat. As the first pitch misses low. Count goes to 1-0 with 2 outs and a runner on first for Cameron Thompson. Jason Newman, his teammate last year, Zach Allman, hit 26 home runs, set a Pioneer League record, and keep your eye out for the rest of this series. Newman has not gone yard yet, but he can really, every time he steps up to the plate, there's a huge threat of it. And 3 home runs, and he will tie Zach Allman's record. This one is up the chimney. Over to first, and right in front of the dugout is Brody Wofford. He keys in on it and locked and loaded for out number 3. The solo home run by Lamar Sparks makes it 8-2. Jason Newman does not hit a home run to get closer to his teammate's record. Again, I said it maybe when I was off of the sound, but it's not a question of if, but when for the home run record from Jason Newman. So keep an eye on that throughout the rest of the season, whether you're a Range Rider fan or a Paddlehead fan. Thank you so much for listening to my ramble and bearing with these technical difficulties. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 7th. We are back, and it looks like we're getting sound, so you're going to have to deal with me for the remaining 2 to 2.5 innings. It's Dean Miller to lead off the bottom of the 7th, and it's a new pitcher for the Missoula Paddleheads. Tyler Elliott comes on, and Elliott, not a Montana native, but an adopted son of the Big Sky State. As that one will miss outside, he's behind 1-0 against Dean Miller to start. A San Diego, California native, but after spending a year at Mount Hood Community College, he took his talents to Division II Montana State Billings, the same place that Jalen Garcia of the Billings Mustangs went. And after having kind of a up and down 2020 and 2021 year, he really locked in and became that quality stopper that the Yellow Jackets wanted in him. A 4-0 record, a 5.19 ERA, 16 appearances, 2 saves, and 52 strikeouts to 13 walks. A ball, the strike there makes it 2-1. And this is his 3rd appearance for the Missoula Paddleheads, a 7.94 ERA in 5 2/3 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks on a professional career still young for Tyler Elliott. Swing and a miss, and he's even up the count with Dean Miller. Count goes to 2-2. The whip for him since going pro is, compared to his 3 collegiate seasons, the worst that he's had to deal with, 2.471. Of course, still very early. That one misses and skids all the way to the backstop. Count is 3-2. Up against Dean Miller. Talked so much about Dino and all he's done in his baseball career. The 3-2 will come in for Dean Miller leading off the bottom of the 7th. Swung on, a roller over to shortstop, and Cameron Willman will field and throw as a closer play at first than I thought we were going to get. But it is a successful 6-3 ground out for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Up comes Livingston Morris. He had a hammer down the left field line in his first time up, or in his most recent time up, but it was foul. And after that big foul ball, there were 4 straight balls thrown to Livy. First pitch. Nice one that finds the top of the zone. A good breaker. Livingston Morris, ever since his first 2 weeks in this league, has not gotten a ton of fastballs. Avoid the heat with this guy because he can make you pay. Swung on. This is going to be another slow roller. Over to second base. O'Connor will field and throw. Good scoop out of the dirt and a good off-balance throw from McLean O'Connor at second base. Had to charge that one and fire it hard, and not able to leg it out is Livingston Morris. Up comes Drew Sims. Drew Sims, 2 for 3 today, a double and a single. He is the only Range Rider that has not scored a run, however. He's been stranded or thrown out on the base paths both times that he has reached. And last time up, grounded into a double play. Not an option here. He's got 2 outs, bases empty in the bottom of the 7th, and the first pitch he'll foul back. Count goes to 0-1. Mentioned Drew Sims did play a smattering of games in the prestigious Cape Cod Baseball League, widely recognized as the best summer collegiate baseball league. Their MLB alumni list is endless, really. Foul ball makes it 0-2. You can pretty much count on probably at least 5 guys on every team in the Cape Cod League end up making it at least a AAA. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but it is hefty with scoutable talent. Swung on. Could it be a hat trick of groundouts? McLean O'Connor will say yes, it will. A 4-3 groundout to end a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 7th for Tyler Elliott, the MSU Billings graduate. Sends down the Range Riders quick. 8-2 as we head to the 8th. Back here, we are in the top of the 8th, and we have a new pitcher for the Glacier Range Riders. It's Andrew Stout, who is making his return from the injured list, where he spent the past week and some change. Swing and a miss there. Count goes to 0-2. Would have been a bad situation for that as it got by the catcher if there was 2 strikes, but there is not 2 strikes. 0-2 is the count for Cameron Willman. 0-2 is Willman with a line out to center and a ground out as well. Swung on. This one's looping down the right field line. It's going to drift foul. Ooh, I have a great view of those balls heading down the right field line, and it is just incredibly enchanting sometimes to watch the bend and test my own eye whether it's going to land to the right or left of the right field line. The final line for Noah Barros before I get too much further into Andrew Stout. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. Those were 2 solo home runs. Just 2 strikeouts for Barros, but no walks, no hit by pitches. That is the thing you love to see. You can handle not having strikeouts, and that's part of the reason why he went 7 innings is because he was fine with getting fairly easy outs. This one is hit over near the bullpen, and it's going to be just out of play over the fence. Count will stay 1-2 right now. I said last inning, when apparently my sound went out, I said that I would talk about the Pioneer League standings, and then Lamar Sparks hit the home run, so I never even talked about it, so you didn't miss anything with my sound being out. Northern Colorado beat Billings earlier today, and so for Northern Colorado, as this one's hit on the ground to short, Brant Broussard will field. The throw to first is on target, and in time, Broussard to Wofford for out number 1. Maybe they'll let me get in a sentence here. Jeez. I don't have a problem with things moving fast. I'm not complaining that much. Northern Colorado had a cycle en route to a 6-3 victory over Billings. That puts Northern Colorado at 3-4 on the season, and Billings falls to 4-4 after dropping to their South Division opponent. First pitch to Jared Akins will miss. Akins 0-2. He's glad to see the end of Noah Barros' day. Okay, so that brings us to where we're at now. In the North, Idaho Falls leads. They have a 5-2 record. They're playing Great Falls right now and trailing, so keep an eye on that. Because right behind them, Missoula and Great Falls, both at 4-3. They're tied for second, 1 game back of the Chuckers. Billings is in 4th. They're 4-4 in the second half, a game and a half back. And Glacier, currently leading this game, is in last with a 2-5 record. This one is a high fly ball. Dean Miller reaching over the... Oh, he was reaching over the fence to try and pluck that one out of the dugout. And it would have been out of your field of play, but I'll tell you what, I would have given a lot of props if he would have been able to make that one. It was a very difficult degree of catch running in to the boundary there. It's very nice to be able to do that over your side because you know the guys will catch you if you do go head over heels, topsy-turvy into the dugout. Count just goes to 2-1 for Jared Akins. Called ball there. Count will be 3-1. And it'll be ball 4. Akins will reach on a walk. Comes Brandon Riley really quick. I'll finish out what I have to say about the Pioneer League scoreboard and standings just so you know. Grand Junction leads the South. Rocky Mountain is in second. Tie for third with Ogden and Northern Colorado. Ogden's already booked their playoff spot. Boise is currently in last. And a look around the league. Other than that, Northern Colorado win over Billings. Grand Junction's currently beating Rocky Mountain 6-4. Ogden is beating Boise 10-2. and Great Falls beating Idaho Falls 4-2. If Idaho Falls loses, thus Great Falls wins, it'll be a tie between the Chuckers and the Voyagers for first place. Missoula can get in on that if they are able to come back and win this contest. First pitch was a ball from Andrew Stout. Again, I mentioned Stout just off the injured list, the Plainfield, Illinois native. 6'1", 185 pounds. That one also misses. Count goes to 2-0. Having a little struggle trying to find the strike zone. For Andrew Stout, originally started his career at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. Had 8 appearances for the Flame. There's a called strike. Count goes to 2-1. Before he transferred to Concordia Irvine in California, where he became a solidified starter and started 12 out of his 13 appearances through 69 innings and had a 5.35 ERA. That one misses off the plate. Count goes to 3-1. Last season, he played for Kane County and had 26 total appearances and 2 starts for the Kane County Cougars in the American Association, and took his talents to Glacier this year. Currently an 0-3 record in 8 starts. This is his first appearance out of the pen, obviously in a kind of a rehab manner. Get him back up to speed. 25 strikeouts to 15 walks coming in, and he gets a swing and a miss out of Brandon Riley. Brandon Riley, on the other hand, has, like his counterpart right now, Stout, played plenty of independent ball. A little bit more than Stout's 1 season in independent ball. This one's lashed foul. Originally was signed into the St. Louis Cardinals organization and spent his 2018 season in Rookie A as well as A-ball, both for the Peoria Chiefs as well as Johnson City, who were the Cardinals at that point, before the Appy League turned into summer collegiate ball. Then spent all of his 2019 season with the Peoria Chiefs in the Midwest League in Peoria, Illinois. Swung on. This one's out to center field. Running in to grab it is Ben McConnell, and he catches that one on the run for out number 2. Riley goes to 0 for 4 on the night. After getting dropped by the St. Louis Cardinals organization, Riley ended up in that 2020 season with the Chicago Deep Dish in the City of Champions Cup, which was one of the numerous pop-up leagues in the 2020 summer. Of course, that one was in Chicago area. That one misses low. Count goes to 1-0. Up now is McLean O'Connor. McLean O'Connor, I mentioned it before, but he played JUCO ball with the assistant clubby for the Glacier Range Riders, Brooks Krause. Both played together at Shasta in Northern California. I want to miss up high. Count goes to 2-0. Glacier Range Riders still very much in the contest despite their lackluster overall record. They are looking for their 20th win of existence. Currently 19-35, and not just their 20th win, it will be a milestone win in terms of their home winning record as well, as it'll be their 10th home win if they can close this one out. 8-2 in the top of the 8th right now, trying to do just that. The 2-0 pitch coming in, swung on and fouled up and out of play. Great Wednesday night crowd out here. You can be a part of the fun. Head to GoRangeRiders.com to check out the ticketing options for the rest of this series. Whether you are a Missoula fan listening in from down Highway 93 or a Range Rider fan that couldn't make it out, or anybody else from around the state and around the country that's casually interested in baseball and independent baseball at that, a called strike makes it 2-2. Definitely got to come out here and check out this ballpark. It has been rave reviews all around, and it's so cool to see people experiencing it for the first time. 2-2. 2 outs. Into McLean O'Connor. Swung on a foul ball down the first base line. The series between these two sides continues tomorrow, Thursday night, 7:05. You can also check it Friday night, 7:05, Saturday night, 7:05, Sunday afternoon, 1:05. Swing and a miss. Andrew Stout gets a strikeout to complete his 1 inning back on the mound for the Glacier Range Riders coming off the injured list. Probably feels good to be able to get that under your belt, and I'm sure we'll see Stout return to the rotation possibly in no time. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. It's 8-2. The Range Riders lead the Paddlehead. Back here in the bottom of the 8th, it's 8-2. The Glacier Range Riders lead the Missoula Paddleheads. The last chance for some insurance for the Glacier Range Riders. It's Robbie Scott, 0 for 3 tonight. Did reach on a fielder's choice and stole 2 bases. First pitch up high, count goes to 1-0. New pitcher for the Missoula Paddleheads after Tyler Elliott pitched just 1 inning. It's Rafael Moncion. Moncion is originally from Guyana, Venezuela. Mrs. High there does the lefty. Count is now 2-0. Swung on, cracked out to left field, backing up to the track, and that one has landed on the banks of the Hudson Bay. Oh my goodness. That ball is hammered from Robbie Scott. Wow. That one was absolutely crushed out of the ballpark. That might be the deepest home run we've seen, or at least the furthest over the fence that we've seen. Goodbye, baseball, and it is 9-2 in favor of the Glacier Range Riders. That Range Riders home run is presented by Hidden Homes Montana. Don't forget, Hidden Homes Montana is making a donation to the Glacier National Park Conservancy for every home run hit by your Glacier Range Riders at Flathead Field this homestand. So A new donation written in the name of Robbie Scott right there, who went yard into the trees beyond that left field fence and just absolutely vaulted off his bat. And Eddie McCabe trying to do the same. He is a pinch hitter coming in for Brant Broussard. We'll see if he stays in the game and plays short for the final inning. It is 1-1 for Eddie McCabe. And he cracks that one down the left field line. Will it stay fair? It will. It'll one hop, and it'll be turning for two. Eddie McCabe, he is into second safely. A pinch hit double from Eddie McCabe makes it a runner on second with no outs. I was just about to late update the scoreboard and say it's 9-2, but a runner on scoring position with no outs. And sorry for that brief freeze of the screen we just had. I'm hoping that wasn't longer than what I just saw there. As Moncion pitches that one into the dirt, count goes 1-0. Sorry, I'm kind of scrambling to keep up with all that happened. That is the first home run of our partnership with Hidden Homes Montana. And, well, puts the Range Riders up 9-2. There's a partnership that seems like it's working thus far. Make it 2-0 now, as that one misses outside. Ben McConnell is 2 for 4 tonight. Missing, and it's 3-0. Eddie McCabe on second base. He just reached on a pinch hit double. And it'll be ball 4 and a walk for Ben McConnell.
Second baseman, Ryan Cash.
First pitch into Ryan Cash misses. That one didn't miss by much. Cash batting out of the right-handed batter's box for the first time, as he has seen all righties to this point. So he's batted out of the left-handed batter's box. Of course, the lefty, Moncion, will see that one into deep left field. Backing up to the wall, Ryan Cash has gone yard. His third home run of the season. Goodbye, baseball. A 3-run shot. Make it 12-2 in favor of the Glacier Range Riders. And I just told you about a Range Rider home run and a partnership that we have. And I'm liking it even more and more. That Range Rider home run is also presented by Hidden Homes Montana. Don't forget, Hidden Homes Montana is making a donation to Glacier National Park Conservancy for every home run hit by your Glacier Range Riders at Flathead Field, and another donation to the GNP Conservancy, and that one comes by way of Mr. Ryan Cash. 12-2 is the score here. Still no outs in the top of the 8th. Range Riders have grown their lead to double digits over the defending champion Paddleheads, and not just the defending champions, the team with the best record currently in the PBL. Count is 1-1 for Sam Linscott. Make it 2-1. I started to tell you about Linscott's journey, starting at community college at Everett, and then playing at Marshall. As he cracks this one, it's a high fly ball out to left center field, but it looks like it'll die up in the air. Almost a third ball sent at that left field scoreboard. That one preaches pity on Monsignor and the Paddleheads. Lynn Scott, all I wanted to say is that he did also play his summer collegiate ball one season in Bend, Oregon, where he played for the Bend Elks. Beautiful, beautiful place. And that's a place where he really got on a lot of radars in terms of his success with a wood bat batting .314. Count goes to 1-0 for Brody Wofford. And he cracks this one to right field. It looks too high, and it will be caught. Another high fly ball, as Moncion's not doing the Paddleheads fans at home any favor in terms of their blood pressure right now. As every ball coming off the bat, two of them have not gone yard, but they have hung up there for a while. Speaking of guys that can go yard, Dean Miller steps up, and he sure has been salivating seeing what these Range Riders players have done to Monsignor in the 18 pitches that he's been out there. Monsignor was a part of the Toronto Blue Jays organization, mostly as this one's hit to second, and it'll be thrown on time. And out of the glove of Jason Newman. No play is routine. That's going to go down as an E6 because it skipped in the dirt, and you can't blame Newman for that. But in terms of picks off the ground, that one didn't look too strenuous, but of course, that's me saying it from up in a booth. And it's a lot different to be behind the 8 ball there. As it'll go down E6 to reach Miller. Every run for the rest of this inning will be unearned against Monsignor. But an outing that has not gone to his flavor. And that one skips way in the dirt. Count goes to 1-0 for Livingston Morris, who's 1 for 3 tonight. A big swing and a miss, and this this fanned up crowd here at Flathead Field, already seeing 2 home runs. They know that when Livingston Morris takes the bat off his shoulder, there's a chance of it, and they are more than happy to react if Miller does happen to find a way to carry one. Cracking that one foul, but way foul, pulled it. One of the fans with good bit of advice, telling him to just straighten it out. That's all you need to do there. And like picking off a ball off the dirt, much easier said than done. Updated the scoreboard. I can tell you it's 12-2. Missing high, 3-2, 2 outs. Dean Miller over at first will be running on the pitch. Livingston Morris did not want to go. I don't know if he lost track of the count because Dean Miller wasn't running on the pitch. Or maybe at a 12-2 ball game, the Range Riders are kind of just pumping the brakes right now, but how this inning started does not seem that way. First pitch into Drew Sims is a ball that misses the zone. Count goes to 1-0. There's a strike. Count is now 1-1. And another well-struck pulled ball by a range rider this inning. That one pulled a little bit too much, a foul ball. Count goes to 1-2 for Drew Sims. Drew Sims, 2 for 4 tonight. Not a bad follow-up to his double and home run game that he had last night in his first professional outing. The 1-2 with 2 outs coming in. Swung on, another foul ball way out ahead of it. And there's a foul ball. Count will be 1-2. Once more. It is 12-2, bottom of the 8th. A 3-run jack from Ryan Cash and a solo home run from Robbie Scott has tacked on 4 runs this inning against Rafael Moncion. The Venezuelan will be happy to forget this inning when it is over. Swung on. That one's carrying out to left field. It's another early swing from Drew Sims, but foul. And I'll tell you what, he woke up at 3 a.m. yesterday morning, caught a flight, got to Montana, signed his papers, hit a home run and a double in last night's game, led the Range Riders to win. Not just that, he was the first one here at the facility today practicing with bench coach Stu Peterson. As it comes to fruition there, hit into center field, a green light to go home, and it will be an RBI single from Drew Sims, 3 for 5 on his night. It is now 13-2 in favor of the Glacier Range Riders. I don't know what happened after the Sunday game against the Idaho Falls Chuckers, but something was said or done between maybe the team leaders, maybe the coaching staff, maybe part of the front office here. I don't know, but somebody said something, and there is a different feeling about these past 2 games. They're not games that the Range Riders are making a lot of mistakes in and struggling. They are games that they are handling the defending champion and PBL leading Paddleheads. This is going to be an exciting series to see how it finishes up in terms of if the Range Riders can continue to roll on this momentum. We have a pitching change. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to send some tweets out, and we'll be right back to see the at-bat upcoming from Robbie Scott, who hit a home run earlier this inning. Welcome back. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning and one out needed by the Missoula Paddleheads. And I can tell you, as that first pitch looked really nice and goes in, we have an alert for you. It is position player pitching right now. So lock in. It is Nick Cece that is standing on the mound. He was the catcher last night, and in a 13-2 ball game, he has been sent out there as the pitcher to try and get the final out of this game. And right now, I'm jumping into the stat sheet to see what pitching stats he has, and I do not have any pitching stats on him. Not on Baseball Reference, at least. This one's cracked to right field, but it looks to be short enough to not be the second home run of the inning from Robbie Scott. It will be a fly out to right field, but Robbie Scott go yard. Ryan Cash goes yard, and an RBI single from Drew Sims. Make it 13-2 in favor of the Glacier Range Riders. 3 more outs, and they'll be 2-0 in the series against the Missoula Paddleheads. Andrew Stout goes 1 inning scoreless in his return from being activated from the injured list. And coming in to finish this contest off is the big right-hander out of South Bend, Indiana, Nathan Thomas, wearing the number 39 jersey, 6'3", 245 pounds. Started this season with the Schaumburg Boomers, played 2 innings and allowed 2 earned runs in those 2 innings before taking his talents to the Rocky Mountain West. I was almost called this the Pacific Northwest, which you could say. You could argue it. Not in the Pacific time zone, though, so maybe not. He has only had 1 appearance for Glacier, pitched an inning scoreless. Did allow 2 hits, however, and got himself out of a bases-loaded jam. He will see Lamar Sparks to start off his second outing for the Range Riders. First pitch inside. We're in the top of the 9th. It's 13-2 in favor of the Glacier Range Riders. Really on every level, you can credit these Range Riders for beating out the Paddleheads. Not something that happens to Missoula all too often. They are so skilled and deep at every position. And I need to emphasize that because, of course, a game like this, I probably seem like I haven't given much love to the Paddleheads as the Range Riders broadcaster, as well as the broadcaster of the team that's beating the other team 13-2. It can be hard to talk about some of the successes. But I can tell you Missoula is very good, and don't expect them to lay down in this series, going behind 2-0. It's 6 games in Flathead, and Missoula has a very talented lineup and a called strike 3 against Lamar Sparks. They got a very talented lineup, and they got a deep pitching staff. They were hit a little bit by the departure of some pitchers right around, the past month with the draft and everything going on. Of course, if guys get the call to possibly go play affiliated ball, they're going to go do that. And Missoula, because of their success in the first half, they had more than a few calls to field to kind of figure out if affiliated ball were possibilities for different players. Up comes Jason Newman. Missing low and in to start off his at-bat. Newman, an 0 for 3 night. Rare to see, however. He is able to find a way to go yard here. Does inch closer to the home run record set by Zach Allman, which I mentioned around the last time he came up. That one will miss inside. Count goes to 2-0. Kind of the Livingston Morris approach, it seems, right now for Newman from Thomas. Not trying to give him anything that he can even remotely wrap a barrel on. 2-0 coming in. Tries to put a barrel on it and swings his shoes off and misses for strike number 1. 2-1. Most of the fans here, after that home run, right, actually from a 3-run shot from Ryan Cash, a lot of fans stuck around to celebrate and then started to trickle out. But the fans that are here are seeing this one all the way through. My opinion, especially if the home team is winning, I almost always stick around for the finality of the contest, no matter what it be. 3-1 coming in to Newman. A called strike. Newman took a couple steps towards first. He's going to walk back and have a payoff pitch. Three-two. 1 out. Here in the top of the ninth. Swing and a miss. Jason Newman has a couple words to say back to our home plate umpire Kelly Atkinson. Not happy with the penultimate pitch that he saw there that he thought was ball 4. Doesn't matter. He will finish the day likely 0 for 4. Nick Gatewood now. Also trying to not be the recipient of an 0 for 4 day. The first pitch will come in to Gatewood. Misses up high. Count goes to 2-0. One and 0, excuse me. I don't know why I said 2-0. Now it's 1-1. Long night. I'm always just buzzing with adrenaline after a win and after last night's successful victory for the Range Riders. Foul ball makes it 1-2. Down to their last strike now are the Missoula Paddleheads. A 1-2 pitch coming, 2 outs. The Range Riders trying to finish off a dominating victory at Flathead Field. The crowd coming through with some claps. 1-2. Fired. Called. Strike 3. And that is the ball game. The Glacier Range Riders finish off the Missoula Paddleheads with a strikeout looking. It is a 13-2 victory for the Missoula Paddleheads and for the Glacier Range Riders, over the Missoula Paddleheads. It was one of convincing fashion, and I don't even know where to begin. I guess let's start with the man that started off the game for the Glacier Range Riders, Noah Barros. He's going to fall a little bit behind in the headlines because his offense was so explosive today. But for Noah Barros, he threw 7 innings, 2 earned runs, just off 2 solo home runs, 2 strikeouts, and no walks. Taking over for him was Andrew Stout, who pitched an inning scoreless, and Nathan Thomas, he finished it off And not just an inning scoreless for Nathan Thomas, a strikeout of the side to finish off the contest. That's the way to do it for the Northern Illinois graduate. The loss goes to the starter, Selway. He allowed 8 earned runs in 2 innings, 1 strikeout and a walk for him as well. Boyle came in and pitched really well for 4 innings, a good long relief outing from him. No earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. And then you saw Elliott pitch a scoreless inning. Moncion allowed a couple long balls for a total of 4 earned runs. And then CC, position player pitching, came in, got the final out. So Selway takes the loss. Barros takes the win. And now let's talk about the offense, because that is where the headlines will go for the Glacier Range Riders. They got the job done pitching. 2 runs by the Paddleheads. That'll usually win you a game. But if you can win it by 11, that really helps not only, to coast to victory and allow your pitchers to be freed up, but the fans, they love an 11-run victory much more than a slimmer one that is not the most helpful for their long-term health. It was 13 runs on 13 hits for the Glacier Range Riders. Only 4 hits for Missoula. 2 errors for Missoula as well. And just those 2 runs for him. No errors by the Range Riders. A perfect day on defense. Hits-wise, who was it? Well, pretty much everybody. Sims had 3 hits, and so did Ryan Cash. You can expect to see an interview from Ryan Cash going up on social media pretty soon. I think he needs to be the guy we need to talk to, especially after that 3-run home run. He went 3 for 5, 2 runs scored, and 4 ribbies for Ryan Cash. Sims had 3 RBIs to go with his 3 hits. He was the only Range Rider that didn't score, and we saw 2 runs scored for Robbie Scott, Dean Miller, Ryan Cash, and Ben McConnell. The other multi-RBI guys were Livingston Morris with 2, and Robbie Scott, that home run, put him up and over 2 runs brought in. There were only 3 strikeouts by the Glacier Range Riders tonight. That's another big stat to circle. Eddie McCabe and Sims both had doubles, and of course Cash and Robbie Scott had their home runs. Ryan Cash led the Range Riders with 6 total bases. On the other side, 2 hits for Thompson, including that home run, and Lamar Sparks had a home run as well, but that was pretty much it for the offense for the Missoula Paddleheads. They struggled against Noah Barros and then couldn't get anything going in the innings. They saw Andrew Stout and the, not closer, but the guy who closed and finished the game, Nathan Thomas. Pitching-wise, I already went over it, and I do not want to go over it again because it was a tough outing for all of the pitchers because they either inherited a large deficit or they allowed a deficit to get large. 13 total runs, 12 of them earned, not helped out by the 2 errors from the Glacier, or from the Missoula Paddleheads defense. That'll do it for me. Like I said, feel free to head to the Glacier Range Riders social media page shortly. Probably within the next 30 minutes, I'll get an interview up with Ryan Cash, who was the biggest of a big offensive night and clearly a team leader. It'd be great to hear what he has to say about the outlook for this stretch in the season, trying to get some momentum going for the second half. So keep an eye out for that. And until then, thank you so much. You can join us tomorrow night at 7:05. It will be another good contest between the Paddleheads and the Range Riders. 7:05, either at the stadium, get your tickets at GoRangeRiders.com, or head here on the YouTube stream to watch some Pioneer League baseball. They play the rest of the week, as well as Saturday for the only day game, a 1:05 start between the Paddleheads and the Range Riders to round out the series every other night at 7:05. Thank you so much for tuning in to this broadcast tonight. My name is Scott Gladstone. Please have a wonderful rest of your night and stay safe out there.